There are a lot of vehicles in Subnautica. Some of them are better, and some of them are worse. So in similar vein to my worst base locations video, I will be listing the objective truth on what are the worst vehicles in all of Subnautica. Now we're going to be starting off this video in Below Zero. That's because of the sea truck. Now we're starting off the list with this because this is probably the least worst vehicle in Subnautica, but it still definitely has a lot of problems. First off, objectively, it looks ugly. No one looked at this and said, oh yeah, this looks sick. Hell yeah. Like, no. Like, I'm sorry to the people who designed this. It was flawed from the beginning. It has nothing to do with the people who created the model for the sea truck, and there's no way to make this look good. That is the objective truth. I genuinely don't think there's a single person who thinks that this is the best looking submarine in the game. Now, let's get on with the rest of the problems. Without the modules, it really is just a worse Seamoth. But the sea truck doesn't exist to fill in the role of the Seamoth. It exists so you can attach all these fancy modules and create a custom submarine, which is great in theory, and I will admit, it does have its uses. The problem is, now you have this incredibly long chunk of metal, which if you park it wrong, you can't even like use properly. It just kicks you out. You can't build in it, so it's just a worse version of the Cyclops. And honestly, I feel like the Cyclops is more customizable than this thing. When you're trying to explore, let me see, for example, I want to go through here. What if I had a Seamoth? That would have been no problem whatsoever. Like, it's so difficult to get through, even just like, see, what did I even get stuck on? What am I'm actually struggling to use this. The only reason why this isn't at the bottom of the list is because it does have some utility, specifically with the prawn suit dock. That's the only saving grace for the sea truck. The sea truck tried to combine the Seamoth and the Cyclops, two completely different vehicles, into one platform. It doesn't even do anything good. It's slow. This is not a fast vehicle. The prawn suit moves as fast as this when it's just walking around, let alone with the grappling module. It's difficult to maneuver. It doesn't have a whole lot of health, and it is so cramped inside. You can't really customize it. You just get what you get with each module. The most amount of customization you're gonna get here is naming the locker. That's all you're gonna get. It's a jack of all trades, master of none, and that's why it's on this list. It's just not a good submarine. There are so many submarines I wish they would have added to Below Zero. I wish they would have kept the Seamoth, or I just wish they found some other way to implement this. But this video is on the worst vehicles in Subnautica, not on how they could have done the sea truck better. That could be a whole video on its own. So let's get on with the next vehicle. At number 5, we have the Neptune escape rocket. You might be thinking, you need this vehicle to beat the game. How can it possibly be useless? Let me answer that for you. What do I do with it? I beat the game. That's everything. That's it. It only serves as a fancy end-of-game cutscene. Sure, it does have some cool features. You get to manually switch everything on. And it is definitely one of my favorite designs out of any vehicle in the game, but I just can't compare it to any other vehicles when it doesn't do anything. So unfortunately, the Neptune escape rocket will have to be on this list. Next, a lot of people are really gonna disagree with me. But it's the Cyclops. I'm sorry, but I do not like using this vehicle. Every single time I play through Subnautica, I only build it so I can get access to its upgrade fabricator, for the sole reason that you need that to build the escape rocket. Now I know there are some people out there that use it as a mobile base. I can understand why people do that, and that's why it's not at the bottom of the list, but it's so slow, it's really big and hard to maneuver. This is probably a bad example because I'm in the grassy plateaus. So let me provide a better example. Down here in the Lost River, I already hit something. Kind of struggling to fit through here. And a lot of warnings. Let's go down this entrance. Oh right, we have to go nearly vertical, pushing our Cyclops into the ground just so that we can get through here. Now imagine trying to do that when there's a ghost Leviathan chasing you, or in any of the 50 other passageways that are 10 times more cramped, and the Cyclops really does pose a problem. This is why I never use it, because although it does serve as good storage, you can also put a good amount of storage on the prawn suit or the Seamoth, and let's be honest, you don't need this much storage for one trip, even to the lava zone. It's just over the top, and it's too difficult to use to warrant it. And next up, of course, is the ship at the end of Below Zero, where you blast off with the alien or whatever to some planet. Yeah, this vehicle really only shows up for not even like a minute, and you don't even get to use it properly, so it's really blurring the line between what is and isn't a vehicle in Subnautica, although I would still consider it, because I don't really have a whole lot of other options for vehicles. Also, its design, I know it kind of goes with the architect technology, but it's just like a box Really? That's all it is. It's just a box. Sticking with Below Zero, and the second worst vehicle in all of Subnautica, it's Below Zero's version of the prawn suit. What did they do to my boy? Whenever you turn it, it has this like weird, you can't really see it in the video, but if you've ever used it, you know what I mean with the way it turns. It like tries to like auto like lock into place and just doesn't feel fluid at all. I will say the sound effects for it are very crisp. I love them, but we're talking about vehicles, not sound design. And when it comes to this vehicle, they ruined it. That took a solid 5 or 6 seconds to fall down that small, like 30-meter drop. They completely ruined the prawn suit in Below Zero. Why did they do this? Why did they think this was a good idea? All of the fun with the prawn suit was sinking like a 5 cubic meter block of solid lead and slamming into the ground at 50 meters per second. And for some reason, they just felt the need to take that away from us. Literally unusable. This is why game testers exist, because without them, developers are allowed to do things like this. The prawn suit was my favorite part of the first game, and they took it and spit on it. The prawn suit of the first game is tainted by Below Zero's design. And I could go on like this for the next few hours, but this video's gotta come out eventually, so on with the next and final vehicle. And of course, the worst vehicle in all of Subnautica. Doesn't get much worse than that, does it?